Hey y'all, Kim here. If you have had a burning question for either cast or DM, you can send them to beholderseyecast/Q&A, and we will try to answer as many as we possibly can, episode 50, for our 1-year anniversary extravaganza. Or, just answering questions. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to Beholder's Eye, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons epic fantasy adventure. My name is Alex, and I'll be your host and Dungeon Master. On the Great Isle, it is a time of religious wars, imperial domination, and an ancient evil reborn. Only one crew can save the world from utter destruction. They are
Margraine Silverbeard, Paladin of St. Eligius.
Zalara Tremez, Wandering Elven Monk.
Magnar Skullgrim, Goliath Sorcerer.
Hibonite, the fire-kindled, wandering flamosopher.
Kim, you want to tell us what happened last time?
Okay, that's that one. Okay. So we started off, I was down because I had tripped and fallen going into town, and one of the big guys came and smashed me real good. But I had hit points until he smashed me again. And then the battle ensued, and between Margraine and Magnar, they basically took out everything. Hibonite helped a little bit, and so did Vadhava. She threw a nice fireball in there at the end.
2 kills.
Hibonite did kill 2 of them.
2 kills out of the 3. Hibonite did well.
He got the killing blow on 2 of them.
Okay, so Zalara was dead most of the time, so that's why I don't remember. She was down for a good most of the fight. And then we got on the road and we started talking about what to do, where to go, and there was a big debate about Kalendor versus going to Hibonite's home, and Hibonite had nearly convinced Vadhava when Margraine continued talking about how great it would be to be behind some walls, and then this creepy guy came out of the woods, and and in the books that we've been collecting, after we found a couple more, or just one more, from the guy, 2 of the chapters were burned out. So we don't quite know what that is, but it's something about the battles that had happened. So, and we ended up with like a half red, half regular creepy dude coming out asking us to kill him.
Right, and that's where we'll pick up. This person has come out of the woods and said, "Please kill me. Please, I can't survive like this. Please kill me."
I get between him and Vadhava and Ilva, if that's an option.
I will use Divine Sense. Is he a celestial, fey, fiend, or undead?
No, he is not.
Okay.
Maybe you can reforge him without eviscerating him.
Well, he seems nice enough. What's wrong with you? Why do we need to kill you?
Look at me. This wasn't supposed to happen. I was supposed to be whole again.
So did you go from human to monster to be whole, or monster to human?
If by human you mean this horrible demonic visage that I have, then yes, I started off as human.
Then you were trying to return to human.
I was trying to return to my true self as a person of this earth.
Oh.
How did you get half one? Because that'd be good to know, just so we can try and get the rest of it working later.
They said it was because I've been corrupted by the invader god Hathor's seed.
I see. And you follow Tot Amon?
Yes, the true god, the creator of all.
I see.
So
Can I
how
stab
did
him
you
now?
get like this?
We were performing the rituals as we should to make ourselves pure again, and when the knife went in me, I wasn't made whole.
So you were trying to go... You were being converted when this happened and it stopped halfway.
Yes, I'm such a... the demons are so deep into my soul that I can't ever be anything. I can never be pure. I'm stuck this way, so everyone will know that I am not pure and I'm not truly of this earth. The invader god has been part of me.
So whatever stopped his transformation could be really useful to us to, spread it.
And how were you corrupted?
How was I corrupted?
Yes, why do you have part of, Hathor in you?
They said my ancestors had used Hathor's heart in the past, and because of that...
Oh,
Zalara.
you mean this? And I hold up my bracer. Does this look familiar to you?
What is that? I don't know.
Okay, so I walk over closer and I go, this is part of Hathor's heart. This gem.
Are you a follower of the false god, the invader god Hathor?
No, actually, I'm not.
That's fitting. You should be the one to slay me. I'm nothing but a corrupt, vile creature.
This poor guy.
Zalara.
Actually, I'm gonna do this. Our sign for message to Hibonite.
The relay station starts up.
All right.
Okay.
You ask for a message?
Zalara. Instead of killing him, can you just see what happens when you put
That's what I was
thing
just
on
thinking.
him?
I was about to put my bracer, the gem itself, up against the red side of his face.
Okay.
Anything?
Nothing happens.
I put it on the other side of his face.
Once again, nothing happens.
I'm going to walk over. I'm going to get the black dagger out and ask. So, when they stab you, how do they use the knife? Is it just like a stab in the stomach? Is it a special carving in ruins or anything?
Yes, you must first carve the runes into the chest, and he pulls open his robes, and you can see where there have been cuts made into his chest. He said, and then the final stab goes into the heart.
I'm trying to make notes of everything.
So just by using it, you couldn't be turned. Or by your ancestors using it. You've never seen it. You didn't know what it was.
What? Yeah, if that's Hathor's heart, then yes.
Huh.
And so, you chose to change?
Yes, to be pure again, of course.
What were you, what was your demon side doing before you chose to be changed? To be
What
pure?
do you mean?
Do you know what, in your previous demonic visage, what was it doing? Was it a baker? Were you in a temple somewhere?
No, I was a farmer.
You were a farmer. Okay.
Yes. I was working the lands for Duke Normure.
And do you know which of your ancestors used the heart thing?
No.
Like, was
How
it
would I
really
know
far
that?
back? Is your family been reported in any way, or are you just, Joe Peasant?
I don't even know what you're saying, what you're asking me.
Were any of your ancestors heroic or cowardly like you?
I have no idea. They must be cowardly if they took the invader's heart.
I mean, you want to be something you've never been before, to serve a master you've never known, to allegiances you don't understand, to a cause you don't know yet.
I know and I understand fully that there is one creator god, Tatanan.
Okay.
Have you spoken to it?
Tatanan.
Have you spoken to this god?
He speaks to my heart. We have found
No,
ancient writings that speak of him. We know this to be true. We know that the savior of this land, his avatar, Murat Hall, is back.
You can thank us for that.
Have you met him? He's, he sounds okay, but he's a little bit of a dick.
This world is corrupt, and he is bringing order to this disorderly world.
I didn't know order and death meant the same thing.
If you are vile, if you are someone who praises this chaos, then you don't deserve to live. You are the true enemy of what is pure and what is holy and what is of this earth.
Can you stab him yet? I'm messaging back to
Did you dive into the Kool-Aid, or... I mean, I don't think he's having much more help.
Okay.
So, what's your preferred method of death? As you get... someone misses you with a sword.
All right, so Zalara swings at him with a short sword. What'd you roll, Kim?
Nothing. I didn't roll yet.
Yeah, no, you did. What'd you roll?
That was a crit failure.
Okay. All right. So she tries to swing at him and goes, you know what? This is just so absurd. We're going to do higher, low. Okay.
Low.
Okay. So you throw your sword and he was like, I'm so cursed that even this horrible demon here can't kill me, right?
Margarine's gonna tackle him. Yeah, I'm gonna try and grapple him.
And
Okay.
he let you grapple him, and he's like, yes, please kill me. Please kill me, bearded one.
And then I'm gonna wrap him up with a rope. Does he have more of a beard now?
Yeah, because
In a couple days.
he's getting more and more of a beard. His hair's growing in pretty thick.
Okay.
Margarine, I don't think you can reforge that guy. Some things are a little bit too broken.
If anybody has a chance, he does.
I would say he's the most likely to be reforged.
And if we can
Wait.
get him to somebody who's more knowledgeable than us, this might be the key to bringing everybody else back.
Okay.
Right?
At the very least, stop people from turning, even if we can't reverse the effects.
I'd probably suggest we gag him as well, because I don't think he's going to take to living too well. Are you, friend?
You're right on my level, right where I was going. I was going to bind and gag him, and we're going to take him with us. Yeah. I don't want to kill him.
If we come across any guards or, officers of any form of law, how do we explain the kidnapped half man, half demon creature?
He's half
Well?
red. I think that should
He's
be
right.
sufficient.
Just kill me. He's right. You'll be thought of as criminals. They won't understand that I want to die. Just kill me.
I'm gonna pat his head. Your opinion doesn't matter anymore.
I'm gonna
test
put the
subject.
gag in his mouth.
Yep.
I'm gonna finish wrapping him up, and I'm gonna say, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I'm a paladin of Theos, and this is a demon caught halfway between its change. I don't think there's an issue here with us transporting him. And if we can save him, then isn't that the best option? If anything, you can learn something, Hibonite.
I know, but I think like the things I can learn from are more non-removable insights.
His insides.
I don't think it's him. He doesn't seem to know about his history.
Well,
There might be a mark on the inside. He might have a new book for me to read. That's like slightly different.
Well, I
Well-
don't think he's one of the scribes.
True.
He just wanted to be converted.
yes, and we're on our way to Kalendor, the nation's capital. If anywhere has the ability to at least study him, it's them.
Fair.
That's the only place I can think that would be, one step below Mother Caldona and her ilk for studying him.
I go pick up my sword, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else going to happen that night, guys?
I
No.
don't think
Not
so.
unless you deem it to be so.
I'd like to rest up, maybe, right? I think that's
Yeah,
what we
okay.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, resting would be good.
You guys make it through the night, and shift's no problem.
Yeah, my one's back to full charges.
Yay.
And unless you want to do anything, you will make it to Kalendor without incident.
Excellent.
Huh? So I'm just saying, before you tackled him, I was just gonna put the wand to the bottom of his head and blow his head off.
Yeah, I assumed that was the way you were going. Yeah, that's why I wanted to tackle him before anybody else tried to kill him.
Are we going to carry him since he's all tied up?
Yeah, Margaret will carry him.
Okay.
Or you could just leave his legs unbound and just tie him to your waist so he can't run away.
I think he's going to continue to try and run away, and I think if he's just bound, I can just carry him. That sounds better to me.
Or drag him.
Yeah, especially with a strength of 17, I think I can carry the man.
It's not
Well,
I'm
Better
more
than I can
thinking.
carry you.
You'd
I'm more
probably
thinking
be
of
encumbered.
the
'cause it's only 15 times your strength that
maybe.
you can carry.
Okay, you're right, Ryan. Thank you. Leave his
No,
feet
I'm more
unbound.
thinking of logistics. You're like, what, 3 foot tall? Some part of him's going to be dragging along the floor.
Drag him all the way to Kalendor.
We do have a hulking barbarian as well.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Yeah, and I can actually carry him because I have that giant strength for carrying. So,
Okay. Excellent.
and I don't actually have anything else on my person other than weapons. So,
Yeah, because you said you have a 17. So you
Oh,
can,
yeah.
15 times.
Plus my armor and stuff. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not
you
gonna be
can
able
only
to carry.
carry 255 pounds. So
Okay.
That's
Okay.
not foreign coins.
Oh.
I don't
Okay.
remember what Goliath's, because they have that special thing, but I don't remember what their times is.
yeah,
It's enough, I think. But
yeah. I mean, the fact that you're not wearing anything else, I think. I mean, you're carrying a couple weapons and clothes, right? You're not
Yeah.
wearing armor and a shield. Yeah, you're gonna be fine. Because you can do 275, I think, normally. So or 270 something. Okay.
It's double. Yeah. So you can
Yeah, if
carry
you're
like
just 18,
500.
so
Yeah.
you'll be okay, especially with the Goliath strength. You guys, you come upon the city of Kalendor. It is absolutely gorgeous. You notice, the first thing you notice are 3 tall crystal towers sticking out from the top. Obviously, those are the ones that Vadhava mentioned. Now, Kalendor is built in 2 levels. So there is a level, there are I guess, 6 different levels total there. And Vadhava explains to you that each level is separated by a wall. And those walls are very thick and act as kind of an aqueduct system around there. So there's water that comes down. It also acts as a defensive position, so that if anybody breaks through one area of the walls, they can dump the water down and drown the people who are there below who've made it through that particular level of wall. So there are 6 levels total, the top being where the keep is, and then also the crystal towers. She also explains that this is, they're definitely defined by class. So the higher up you are, the more wealthy you are. In the middle is the market. That's it. But it is a magnificent site built not directly into the mountain, but up fairly close to it. So there's not a way to actually get behind the city. You guys
Does your home look like this, Hibonite?
Well, my home is not only far away, it's like a mountain.
Well, so is this, kind of.
I mean, it's fancy walls, but they don't necessarily protect you from things. Not if it comes from below. Or if the evil's in the wall.
Good point.
All right, so you guys make it there. You do see that there are a number of what you assume to be refugees from the rest of the towns that have been cleared out. Upon entering, Vadhava kind of takes charge, and she moves you to the front. A lieutenant there is one of the wall guards. They're checking everyone who's coming into town at this point. It's not like they have open policy. She shows them her signet ring. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, my lady. I didn't realize they were with you. You're all free to enter. Since you are with my lady here, you will be allowed to keep your weapons with you. However, if there is any violence, they will be taken away from you. Violence, the rules of the town are quite simple. Violence is not tolerated. The city guard will use violence against you first and arrest any of the survivors. You can, of course, use magic, but if there's any evidence of any kind of mind control, anything of that nature, or any kind of violent magic, you will be arrested and thrown into the city jail. Thieves will be thrown into the jail for at least a week. If you steal from the royals or any of the noble houses, your hands will be chopped off, and then you'll be thrown into jail for at least a week. If you choose to live here, you must establish a residence and pay double the yearly taxes, which would be about 60%. And if you are wanting to buy or sell things, you must get a license from the guilds. If you are not, if you are selling something on the street that is not guild sanctioned, that is considered thievery, and you will be thrown in jail for at least a week.
Do you also get your hands chopped off if you're selling things on the street?
No.
Okay. Just want to be clear.
When you said about magic, not offensively, if, for example, I was split up from the rest of my group, and to help them find me, I used a thunder wave, but in an upwards direction so it wouldn't hurt anyone, would that count as a negative use of thunder wave?
Yes, you would be thrown in jail.
What if I used like a firebolt as a flare sort of thing?
Can someone be hurt by that?
Oh, only if it's aimed at them. Same as the thunder wave, it'd be in the sky, so no one would get hit by it. It would just make a very loud noise.
I'm not a lawyer. I just tell you the rules. That's the rules. You will go to jail.
What if I produced flames from my hands that didn't hurt
I am not a
anyone, but
lawyer,
only
sir.
contained
Those are the rules. That's the rules. If you see this large line of people, I have to get through all of them today. I'd like to go home and see my wife. Forgive me, my lady.
Do you have a pamphlet I could take with me?
I'm sure Vadhava knows the rules.
I would turn and ask all those questions to Vahadva while still holding up this guy.
Okay. Hibonite,
go.
we must be moving along. Thank you,
Let's not
sir.
make the guards immediately hate us.
I appreciate your time.
Wait, who? What do you have here? And he points to the half the half demon cultist guy that you have tied up.
You said there was a college here, right?
Yes, Vadhava says. Yeah, there's a college here.
Yeah. So I'm sure you are aware of the current issue with like red demons and that sort of thing in the country.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at this huge line of people. They're not here because we have a festival going on.
Of course. So as you know, I'm a paladin of Saint Eligius. We encountered this man on the road. He's halfway through a transformation into a demon, and we thought the college might want to study him to be useful for the upcoming fight.
Okay.
Would there be anyone who could take him there?
Well, this is definitely something that's a matter of security here. Why
Can
don't
we get
you
a receipt for signing him over to you? Just something prove it. When we go to the college, we're ready to see him. Pick up our, just so we can pick up our property on the way out.
We don't own the man. Slavery's like explicitly like super illegal, like super not okay.
He's not a human. He's a demon.
So why don't we? Yeah, he calls a couple guards over, and then they take him away.
Excellent.
I'll say thank you and tip him a gold.
I can't take a bribe, sir.
It's not a bribe. It's a tip. It's a gift. I expect nothing from you. I don't expect to ever meet you again. It's just me being nice and because I annoyed you.
He looks to Vadhava and just kind of raises his arms, and she says, "Come on, Hibonite, let's go."
Why is no one ever accepting my gifts? So I walk off like a told off child.
As
All
you
right.
should.
So she takes you up the city. You guys are able to travel between the different layers. Each layer there is a guard that checks everyone's status before they're able to go up. Okay, let me rephrase that. For the first level, you guys travel across a walkway that heads up. Down below, you see that there is a group of people living on this level, and Vadhava explains this is called the Bog, and people weren't originally supposed to be here. This is just supposed to be the first level of defense, but a lot of goblins and kobolds and others of that ilk. Obviously, they're accepted fully in Kalendor as we are a city of Theos, but they have kind of decided to congregate down there. So we allow them to stay there, and that's where a lot of the unfortunates end up. The next level up is what they call the hammer level, and that's just where most of the laborers are, your blue-collar working-class folks. After that is the market, which is literally the market. And then it's the heights where the middle-class merchants who actually own them, and the guild members, they all live there. Then the Sterling level is where she lives, and that's where the noble houses are. And then finally the top is the towers, which is, of course, where the crystal towers and the actual keep of Kalendor is.
What color are the crystal towers?
They seem to change, kind of a almost rainbow, depending on the time of day. They actually change with the sun as it's setting. They are absolutely gorgeous.
Where would the best place to go to find out about those towers and any ancient evils possibly lurking underneath the city are?
We do have a college here, of course.
I want to see them at some point.
Okay, so like as a paladin of Theos, what would be Margraine's social standing in this hierarchical structure?
Well, he would be part of the religious class, so they would be more like the Heights level. Okay. Where the guild merchant level. Now, she does explain to you that there are some churches here, none of St. Eligius. But, they do have a few other temples here to different orders of Theos, and also one to an ancient god called Medved.
Did she say that?
Yeah.
Medved?
Medved.
Medved.
Yes, that's...
they worship Medved here.
Well, yes, my family does specifically. We're of the Church of Medved.
Magnar just starts laughing.
What?
In a weird,
This is... I don't know how to explain this, but I met Medved, even though he is I thought he was my enemy. Or the Ulford tribe, they always claimed him as such, but he's the one who gave me my powers.
Really? He gave you your powers?
Yes, and oddly enough, Ulford seemed to be okay with it.
Interesting. Yes, it's my family came here a few generations back, and we knew we came from the north, and we brought those traditions with us. My great however long back ancestor fought along Thalmor himself when he unified this country, so we brought those traditions with us. And she's she's obviously talking just kind of in factual tones because she doesn't know how to respond to what Magnar just said, so she's just stating facts.
Yep. Magnar's just taking it in.
So she will bring you all to her house. And you see, when you get up to the Sterling tier, it is beautiful there. And she brings you into her house. It is magnificent and very well kept. It's very almost sterile. It's so nice. Where Margraine's house seemed to be very wealthy, but kind of warm and inviting. This seems like it has all the trappings of wealth, but very rigid. There's a butler that greets everyone, and she brings you all in and introduces you to her parents, who you see Lady Bjorn standing there. She's wearing a high-necked dress, very straight back. She says, "Oh, Vadhava, what have you dragged in?" And Vadhava introduces you all, and it's clear there's tension there right away. What? You're welcome, of course. Of course, you're very welcome here. Will you all be staying here, though, is that there are some lovely inns down on the labor, or on the hammer level. For you, large man, maybe the bog. Are you familiar with that? It's a lovely area, and I think you'll feel more at home there.
Sorry, Malay, I think you've misjudged our band of adventurers here. You stand in the presence of you may be surprised. You stand in the presence of a great paladin of Theos, who's proven himself in combat as a legendary warrior, one of the finest hunters in the land, the best rogue/scout you'll ever meet, who can keep you safe at any distance, and myself, a great magician of sorts.
Oh, I am very impressed with that as well. And oh God, Valhalla. What is that in your arms?
With women like this, they usually don't respond well to people they think below their ilk. You see, like, I'm used to dealing with people like this, as my dad is Morgraine Silverbeard, of course, who's running Durnholm at the moment and has taken over the mines.
You're Morgraine's son. Oh, you're very welcome here. Yes,
yes. I know. And look, see, Hibonite, that's how the tone changes.
Look at you, judge you by how you look, even though maybe under the covers they don't realise you're effectively royalty in your people.
And a paladin of Theos at that. See?
A sort of person who could look at a person in rags and not notice they're a god.
Yeah, Vadhava, your mother's delightful. Thank you.
Well, then, yes, of course, you're welcome to stay here.
According to his mom, we're like,
awesome.
Girlfriend, boyfriend. So does that count for anything?
I am sure that's wonderful.
Yeah. But yes, it's delightful to meet you, ma'am. I appreciate you opening your home up to us and offering us a place to stay, and we will be more than happy to oblige ourselves of it.
Wonderful. And
thank you.
So it looks like you went and got yourself in trouble, Vadhava, which I'm guessing is why you're back home now after all this time.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you the father? She looks directly at Magnar.
Yes.
She already introduced us, right? Like names and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
We will have some handmen come and get you dressed for dinner, and I'm sure we'll be welcome. Of course, we will, Vadhava, let the queen know that you have returned. I'm sure she'll want to meet with you. Yes, we will have dinner in a few hours. Of course, I expect you all to be here and prompt. We will have everyone dressed. Feel free to have a few cocktails until then, or do what you need to in the city. If you decide not to come back for dinner, that's understandable. Just don't be too drunk when you come in at night. Thank you.
I'm assuming this would be a banquet of your finest meals, of course, for your esteemed guests.
Yes.
All
of our meals are the finest meals.
I'm sure my fine palate will test that later.
Thank you very much for your hospitality. We greatly appreciate it.
Yes, you're quite welcome. All right, so you guys, what are you wanting to do? Are you wanting to do anything?
Well, Solar's completely broke, so shopping is not an option.
I still have money.
Would you like money?
Yeah.
Hibonite has plenty. I say plenty. It's like 3 health potions worth.
Yeah, I'm still over 100 right now. So
I'm still at 0.
Is there something we need?
I don't. Just rations probably for the road.
Yeah.
Maybe healing potions if we can get them from the church.
I wouldn't mind, visiting the college and, maybe finding out some information about possible ancient dark evils below the city that could destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know how much time there is before dinner?
You have a few hours.
Or where to avoid if we don't want to run into Brommel.
That's a good point.
Well, if you ask Vadhava that, she'll say, well, you'll probably not want to be on this tier too much. Yeah, Sterling's probably not the best place for you. I would say, depending on what he has going on, he may be at someone's house, or, politicking as he would. So I would say avoid this area as much as possible, except to be here.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
If we did come across him by accident, how much trouble would he cause us? Is he like?
He's
super
one of the most
high?
powerful men in the entire country, Hibonite.
He's the general for the whole country.
Yeah, like he's one step below the
town was
queen.
Such a great idea, guys. This is such a safe place for us as a group.
Well, it's safe for Vadhava.
I'm sure if Farhava's mum knows that Bromwell's looking for us, she won't turn us in at all.
That's why
Yeah.
you don't talk about it in front of her, Hibonite.
I thought we were outside.
No, she left.
Yeah, she left.
She left. You guys are just in the house still.
And there's servants about Hibonite that could report us.
I'm sure from her general demeanor, her servants aren't exactly her favorite people. Their favorite person.
That doesn't mean she doesn't reward them.
Valhalla says, well, Hibonite, at least here in Kalimdor, servants are very loyal because their status is tied to the house. So,
We're not a threat to the house.
but Zalara's right. It's best to speak elsewhere. And she turns to Magnar and says, I am going to have a bath and clean our child up. Feel free to do what you need to do.
Can I have a bath too?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
With real
Absolutely.
soap?
Yes, absolutely.
I haven't been clean in months.
Yes, and we
Or
have
weeks,
of
I should
course,
say.
Due to the water system we have here, one thing you've probably never seen before, but we actually have running water. So
What? What's that?
yes, water indoors. It doesn't have to be put into the bath by a bucket. You can actually turn a knob and it comes out.
That... What?
This place is truly magical.
It's all right.
Solara's gonna go take a 3-hour bath.
Okay, so Laura's taking a bath. Boys, what are you doing?
I think it would be prudent for me to not go out ever, except to leave.
Okay.
I am very noticeable.
You can always go to the college tomorrow.
Well, yes, you're noticeable, but I'm kind of noticeable right now as well.
I think
let's see.
we redefine the term noticeable individually.
Yeah.
I'm red-skinned, he's 8 foot, and you gleam like the sun.
I do. I gleam with the regalia of Saint Eligius.
The only one who's not noticeable out of us is our lovely little rogue who's just gone to take a 3-hour bath.
I'm a monk, thank you very much.
I know, but you're sneaky, so
But
I'm
you're
calling you a
roguish. Yeah, I don't know. He'd like to get cleaned up and like maintain his armor and stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
You
I'd
guys
guess
just
too.
have-
'Cause there's
Hibonite will have a bath, and then he'll actually get dressed in proper attire and look spiffing.
Okay, and
Not-
you guys
not
do
like
have...
Delacroix.
I think I said handmen. You have footmen, and then you will have a handmaid, Zalara, to get you guys all dressed in some of the finest evening wear, dinner wear that they have in Kalimdor.
Like a fancy dress.
Yeah, like a fancy dress or fancy whatever you want. Yeah.
Mine's green.
Okay. In the green fancy dress.
Margraine will still wear his armor.
Okay.
Yeah.
The image I have for Hibonite in this dinner thing is like he's just walked into Wall Street.
Yeah. You got
And
a
he
top
looks
hat
the part.
again, like the last good dinner we were at?
No. He wants to prove this bitch wrong, so he's doing things properly. This is rare for Hibonite.
Oh my. So he's got his hair all nice and combed and
All
like...
slicked back, looks professional, clean shaven.
All right.
Oh, that's a
So,
good question. Would Margraine shave? Probably not.
does he know how?
So, he would most certainly trim. He would not shave, because he needs to keep it trim due to the structural design of his helmet he usually wears into battle. He has a
Right.
very specific helmet, so he would have to keep it. He couldn't have full on like Grizzly Adams. More kind of neat and trim for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. So, Magnar, as you're getting fitted for evening wear, a small halfling dressed in the outfit of, once again, another footman comes in and he says, "Hello, are you Magnar?"
I am. Who are you?
My name does not matter at this point in time, but I was told that you owe a lady a favor, and she says that you must go to the bogs and buy 1 syringe of citrus flower from Rax, and then you must take it to Mias, unless he does not have it, but you must press him hard to make sure that he does not have it if he claims not to.
From Rax?
Yes, from
And
Rax.
take it Rax.
Yes.
And
Rax
take it
Who
where?
Honey, from Rax Who Honey Extravaganza. And you must take it to Mia's brothel.
What is it with brothels in this game?
People like
Magmar's
to
attracted to
fuck.
Fair.
It's a very stressful world, and people need something to release stress.
I guess I can't all meditate.
Thank you. Is that
Thank
it?
you. Yes, that is all I know. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye. You hang up. And Rax is spelled R-A-X, because of course.
Okay, that's how I spelled it. So.
Good. All right. Cool.
Although I spelled honey like
With an X.
Winnie the Pooh would say. So
Oh, that's exactly how it's spelled. It's
H-U-N-N-Y?
W-H-O.
Oh.
Honey extravaganza.
Oh, before he leaves.
Yes.
How quickly do I need to do this?
I don't know. He said it was urgent, so whatever that means to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You hang up.
All right, then. So I'll go to Vadhava. I'll say, did we talk about our pacts with Madame Granite?
What do you mean?
Like
With Vadhava?
Oh, well, she saw the Vole thing with Sam's, or sorry, with Margraine. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess she knows about it. So, yeah. So I'll say,
Madame Granite called in her favor, and she wants me to go to a place called Who Honey? Rax Who Honey?
Oh, I've heard of that. Yes, that's it's kind of a despicable area. It's run by the gang that calls himself the Bog Boys. There's a basically they've captured a number of owl bears, and people sign up to fight them.
That's horrible.
Yes, it is. But they're
Side
it's
quest, free the owlbears.
It's a minor gang. They're in the bogs, so the city doesn't pay them much mind.
Anyways, I was told to get a syringe of citrus flower. Does that mean anything to you?
Citrus feather is it's a drug that's been going around the city. It's some kind of, it's something for people use it and for strength. It's very popular among young men.
Which would make sense why I'm supposed to take it to a brothel.
You're supposed to take it to a brothel?
Mia's brothel, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
I'm guessing this is illegal.
Oh yes, highly.
She said she wouldn't ask us to do anything illegal.
damn it, you're not there, Margraine. Oh, of course, I would remember that. I specifically said that. So
You're the one who made that
Yeah.
stipulation.
I don't know if I have to do this then.
Well then don't.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys go to, unless anybody wants to do anything else, you go to dinner.
I do want to tell them about it, though. I want to
Okay.
tell everybody else. I just wanted info from Vadhava since she knows everything. So
Okay. So he communicates
And-
what happened.
Yeah. Do you
Well-
think I need to do this?
Well, Magnar, we agreed not to do anything illegal. You asked yourself.
I mean,
That's what I thought.
at this point, what's another enemy against us anyway?
Personally, I'm
entirety
rather
of-
scared of Madame Granite.
Wait, did you tell us about your Margraine?
Yeah, you all
Recipient
saw
favors
it.
aren't.
we were all there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it already sounds like Margraine's one's down the drain anyway after one favor. So she probably thinks the whole group is useless nowadays anyway. So she may have already decided she'll try and get what she can out of us and get rid of us. So screw it, let's not do it.
I'd rather not have another enemy.
I mean, she's breaking the terms of our own deal, so we
Have
don't
you-
have to do this one.
And did you hear what the guard was talking about? All the rules of thievery and selling things on the streets, and I can't. What would happen if you got caught with some kind of illicit drug?
I mean, it sounds more like a setup to try and get rid of Magna.
That would be my thought.
I mean, it's specific person, specific place. They can easily tip someone off. Oh, look for the 8-foot giant running around with illegal drugs.
That makes sense.
I mean, you could, if we had to do it, you could theoretically just have one of the other crew do it and maybe be less conspicuous. But if you're okay with not doing it, I'm fine.
This looks like a job for Triple Red.
That's kind of what I was thinking. But go into one place, turn in, get the stuff, turn invisible.
So my only concern with that sort of thing, right, is that not necessarily if you guys are by yourselves, do you have as much free reign of the city
That's true.
without escort? Like, my
Getting
thing would
back
be if
inside
Magnar...
would be hard.
Yeah, if Magnar went to the bogs, I doubt he'd ever get back to here.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I mean, it's an illegal favour, so by the terms of our own deal, we don't have to do it with her. I mean, she probably disregarded any of our conditions that we put on it anyway, but it sounds fair.
Sure.
So
I won't do it then.
I'm for not doing it, personally.
But the owlbears. No, I'm for not doing it too.
You mean the vicious creatures that attack people on the roads?
But they're so cute. Have you seen a cub?
Oh, we had some in the forest one time, and the little baby owl bear, it came up to me, and I got to pet it a little bit before the mama bear came.
Did
I
she
wanted
try
to keep
and rip
it
you
as a
in
pet.
half?
No, I wanted to keep it as a pet, but my mom said no.
I mean, they kill people so that on
Well,
the roads for their food.
sometimes.
Technically,
if
we
you-
kill people too, Hibonite.
But not for food.
Not for food.
But we kill them for food sometimes.
True.
That's what nature does,
mean-
yo.
I mean, at the same time, how are you going to get out of the city? I mean, you can free the owlbear, but then it's just going to go on a murdering rampage, and it's kind of manslaughter at that point, because while you didn't directly kill the people, you did release the creature that killed them all. And you said
Well, it
about the
would-
rules in this place.
Be distraction if we wanted to do the other thing.
But we're not going to.
Okay,
mean-
never mind.
It sounds like putting us in more danger and more threats and making more enemies by whichever underground gang we piss off this time.
Hey, I'm willing to
Fine.
take down this whole crew if it means we can get an owl bear.
The liar didn't say it in so many words, but maybe.
Okay,
All
so
right, so dinner.
Yep,
All right.
dinner.
Sure.
So, you guys do have dinner. It's very nice. You meet Vadhava's father, Ivar. Her mother's name is Sophie, by the way.
Sophie with the J.
Sophie with an IE, so it's different.
Oh.
And then
Sophie.
halfway through dinner, a woman comes in, dressed very elegantly, who looks just like Vadhava, and the two of them embrace Vadhava and her. She says, "Oh, everyone, this is my twin sister, Dohava, D-O-E.
Pleased to meet you, Dohava.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. I heard that you'd returned. It's so wonderful to see you. I know that Her Majesty would want to meet you. In fact, word has spread already about this strange crew who's been traveling with a long-lost noble here. So the Queen would like to see you all tomorrow. So you are requested to meet the Queen herself. And apparently General Brommel would like to see you all as well, though.
I am sure he would.
I was expecting an invitation from the general. Thank you.
And unless you guys have anything specific you want to say, everybody just sits down and
No, I would love to. So what's their last name again?
Bjorn.
Bjorn. Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Bjorn. You have a wonderful home and fantastic furnishings. Tell me what do both of you do?
Well, we are a member of obviously House Bjorn. We work in conjunction with, I'm not sure if you're aware of how politics are situated here, but we work in conjunction with Duke Delacroix. So he is the dukedom on the land who gets the things done. We are the house that controls the money for the duke. It is a way that Great King Theoma split up so that no nobles would have too much power. He controls the land and some of the people. We control the majority of his money and our money, and we are in charge of negotiations of things such as with your father now that Luxor is no longer in power. So we specifically look in mining. We do some with silks and textiles, but trade, of course, is the name of the game for any of the major houses.
Of course.
Have you spoken to the Duke recently?
Duke Delacroix, we are in communication regularly.
How is he? It's been a while since we were guests of his castle.
Overrun with refugees.
Yes.
That'd be the people we assisted.
Yes.
How
No.
wonderful.
No, Hibonite. You might be mistaken about that. I think that was Kringle Falls that was attacked.
They were going to Delacroix.
We wouldn't have been to Kringle Falls.
Oh, that's right. We didn't make it to Kringle Falls, did we?
No, I never said we went to Kringle Falls. I just said we helped people.
And Sophie says, "Why is everyone lying?"
Sophie, you're obviously, aware of polite conversation. Everybody's always lying.
Oh, my dear, please call me Lady Bjorn.
Oh, thank you, Lady Bjorn. You can call me Mr. Silverbeard.
If you like.
Yes, I'm sure it will help us in any upcoming negotiations with my father.
It might.
Okay, anyway. I'm like one class below these guys, I think. It's real hard to posture. Anyway.
Well, your father, I mean, from what she said, your father would be of the merchant class. So yeah, they would literally be one class below.
Yeah. Enough that they would deign to speak with me and not throw me out on my ass, but yeah, not enough that if I pushed it too far. Yeah.
And what sort of point would, if Hibonite was actually a proper envoy, what sort of point in the class system would he sit at as technically an envoy of the fire kindled people and the next leader?
Right. Well, you're basically a prince, so you would be on their level.
But seeing as nobody's heard of your people,
but nobody's heard of you.
I know. I just wanted to know for my own sake on how Hibonite should be acting.
Oh, okay.
Because he is that. He's not going to let them pull the wall over him if he's the same as them.
Right.
Technically, you're above them then. You're
That's
like one
how I'm
step
acting.
below the queen.
Yeah. So, anything else you guys wanted to discuss? Zalara, Magnar?
No, I just wanted to figure out why these people have such a big stick up their ass.
Because they're rich, man.
Hibonite's just being really judgmental and looking down on all the food and the discussions they have.
Zalara is just kind of kicking herself because, like, her mom is super duper powerful, and, like, if she could somehow flaunt that, it would be amazing, but she can't because nobody really knows her mom, so.
Yeah, you're kind of in the same position as Hibonite, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna...
At one point in the dinner, Sophie does say to Vanhava, well, my dear, it's so wonderful to have you back. It's so wise of you to have thrown away your position with the queen and left with that minstrel man to come back with this fellow here and that overly large child. It was a very good decision on your part, and we're so pleased to have you back under those circumstances.
Oh.
And Magnar pulls out his warhammer, smashes her right there.
I would think any mother would be happy indeed to see their child return safely.
I'm pretty
to
sure
them.
I just said I was. I said it was wonderful. Did it? Yes, I said that. I said that, didn't I? Ivar leads over. Yes, dear, you did say that. And Dohava just kind of rolls her eyes. All right, if there's nothing else to be said from you guys.
No. Onwards to the queen so we can insult her.
I mean, Hibonite's holding back at the minute. Hibonite's waiting until we're about to leave, then insult
So you guys
him.
spend a night very comfortable. Extremely comfortable. Probably the nicest. It's even nicer than when you were at Margrain's. Magnar, they put together like 3 beds for you, and you lay on them, widthwise. And then the next day you are once again dressed in your finery. It's different finery this time, but it is day finery. And
Just to clarify, I am putting my fancy bracers on top. So
I'm once again in a full suit of armor.
Hibonite's enjoying being in a proper suit and looking the part of what he is.
Solara is very interested in this house, and since she only meditates for 4 hours a night, could I have been poking around a little bit to see what all's around and just kind of like see if there's any, I don't know, interesting tidbits I can find out? Maybe there's a library with some books.
yeah, there's definitely that.
Would there be
what are you looking for within that? Give me an idea of what.
dirt on this bitch?
I mean, if you do your snooping, at the beginning of the rest before I take my rest, you can be invisible because then I can rest and get my spell slot back. Not meta at all.
Although, no, it's gonna have to be.
Also, she wouldn't be the kind of woman at all that if she saw you snooping through her house and your lower station would not assume at all that you were stealing from her.
That's true.
But what do you want to do? I mean, if you want to snoop.
Snoop.
But these are elves too, so they probably only get 4 hours of sleep. Damn. Never mind. I was trying to be sneaky.
All right, yeah. You're free to if you want to.
He so wants to throw us in jail again.
I've not been in jail.
A new town. I know. Gotten to a new town, and not one of us has been to prison yet.
All right, so
We've been in town for almost 12 hours. This is not
Since
right.
nothing happens at night, you guys are brought before the queen the next day. You're taken up to the tower tier. And the 3 crystal towers, there are 2 very large ones and one that's kind of halfway up. And you basically got 2 towers and then the one halfway up right in front of it. They are absolutely magnificent. As you get near them, you do notice there is kind of this hum. The towers themselves from the top of this tier here, and they're a little bit up and behind the keep itself. They shoot another 100 feet in the air. I mean, they're just gigantic. The one in the center is probably a third or a quarter of that, so maybe 25 feet up. But there is just kind of this hum to it. The keep itself is magnificent. You guys are taken through that and brought into the queen's chambers. She is a beautiful human woman, and she is quite young, though. I mean, she may be 22, and she wears a crown on her head, and she says, "Oh, Vadhava, it's so good to see you again." And the 2 of them embrace, and she says, "So, welcome to my keep. All of you have made something of a name for yourselves at this point. I'm very interested in speaking with all of you. Can you, to begin with, can you explain your intentions here in my city?"
Safety.
We are looking for a safe place for Vadhava and Ilva.
And she smiles big. She says, "Oh, Vadhava, you're coming home. And who's Ilva?"
I kind of look at Vadhava because I'm not
she
sure
says,
if I should answer.
She takes your hand and says, "She's our child." And then Queen Alanya says, "Oh, wonderful! He's definitely different than Feldor, yeah, but no less handsome at all."
Thank you, my queen.
Oh, are you a member of you're from Thelmor?
No, but you are a queen, and I don't know how to address you.
Your Majesty will do.
Yes, Your Majesty.
So, and she says, "Excuse me one moment," and she lifts her hands, and Dilhava comes up next to her, but you notice all the other guards leave the room. "So, to speak quite frankly, I am aware of you through Brommel first, through the church second, and through rumors third.
Oh, you really don't have a good idea who I am then?
I don't know who any of you are, to begin with. I know you had some agreement with Brommel. Apparently there was a betrayal. I know that you were in Paragon on the day that, who are they are now calling Ilal the Resurrected, was killed to begin with. And the Red Hand Revolution.
Wait,
He's back.
Alal's alive?
You say resurrected?
Yes, that's what they say.
What?
Okay.
That's what they say.
Calm down.
I don't know.
Hibonite put his hand on Zalara's shoulder to calm her. Calm.
What?
I'm assuming you, and she points at Hibonite, are the red demon that everyone talked about there.
They say red demon, but I've killed more of the demons than most other people, and I've saved more people from the demons. So most people are wrong.
Well, here's the thing. You're with Vadhava, and I've known her since I was a very, very young girl. I trust her. I trust her sister. If she's with you, then the stories that are positive about you, I'm more inclined to believe. I am not sure about anyone in my kingdom at this point. It is frankly falling apart. I know 3 of you are strangers to the kingdom, and one of you merely from one of our principalities. So I'm not sure if you're the people I should trust the most or the least at this stage. But none of you seem to be from the Empire, correct? None of you are Crucian?
No.
No.
We have a religious insurrection happening with the Red Hand. And now with this martyr of theirs, Alal, who many say walked the land. I don't know. We have this warlord, Murat Hall.
It's probably an understatement to call him a warlord. I mean, out of the two you just mentioned, he's by far the bigger threat.
Demigod would probably be a better term.
Lord of Death would also probably work. He turns people into demons.
Okay.
And he flies on a dragon.
And he's pulling sources of evil from great places to resurrect his mother, who's probably going to kill the world. And so far they've targeted big settlements with ancient, long forgotten history. You know, there's the spires outside.
Here is what I need at this point. I need a group I can trust. I am fairly young in my time as queen. My father, as you know, was killed at the Battle of Kretvik's Pass. Just a few years ago, I've relied on people I maybe should not have relied on. And coming forward, quite frankly, I'm not sure what my next step should be. Because I don't have all the information I need to have. So, what I need from you is for you to tell me what you know about everything that's happened. Your interaction with Brommel was interesting. I'm not sure. He was focused on you, maybe a little too much.
I mean, how many generals pursued the crime of self-defense across your country and put your relationships with another city-state at risk?
That is what I wondered myself.
Did any information get back to you from Gray and his men?
No.
Gray, right? The cat guy?
Yeah.
Gray, yeah.
Yeah. We had some people from Paragon who told us the story, and then of course what I can only assume is the legend grew up not long after that. So I know that the Red Hand came in, took over the town. I'm assuming it was you four who fought with my soldiers there and got the town back. In the process, killing one of their prophets or something, who now is their martyr.
Okay, then you don't have all the information. So we are also, and he'll reach into his backpack. If you don't mind me showing
Please.
you this, I'm in possession of a ledger here, which I'm sure you have the resources to be able to verify, showing a money trail between your own general and the Red Hand, that he was personally funding sects of them.
Yes, please let me see that.
Yeah, I'll give her that, because we might as well trust somebody at some point.
All right.
I agree.
So, you've been out. You've seen what you've seen of the world. Since Murat Hull is the greatest threat. Now, my spies are telling me that the Empire is looking to make a move. So, at this point, I will need someone to either help me with the Empire or help me with Murat Hull.
I mean, I'm kind of a little bit invested in stopping Murat Hall.
From what, and this comes from Brommel, so he is a good general. His infatuation with you all is strange, but he is a good general, and his spies have said that they believe Murat Hall is holed up in the Western Wildlands. There's an ancient prison fortress there that was known as the Devil's Claw.
I assume
Yep.
I know of that. Oh.
And it's believed that he is holed up there. So I'm not sure if a front strike might be the best way, or that hitting him at his heart, but we need to take him out if he is the bigger threat, as you say.
How capable are the people you'd be able to assault with? Because I know we know at the very least he has a dragon. They're able to make 15-foot hulking monsters that can break through buildings. They have magic casting 10-foot creatures. I mean, this is not an easy target.
And any of ours that they capture, they have the ability to change and become one of their force.
Yes, the gentleman you brought in yesterday, I did receive word on him as well, so he's being questioned at this point in time and studied, so...
And from what we understand, he volunteered.
Yes.
He was not forced.
He seemed to be a madman.
He chose this.
So, That's why I'm asking you. I have a war on 2 fronts I'm fighting. I don't have the soldiers to fight on both fronts. We need a surgical strike to go in and do what we can to attack them at their heart. So I'm asking you to do that. You 4, to be my eyes and ears, to go into the Western Wildland, to this Devil's Claw. You've lived through more than most people do in a lifetime, from what I hear.
It's been a long
last
2 months.
We could easily agree to that.
It's true.
I
I've seen
don't
a
expect
lot.
you all to give me an answer right away, but we do need an answer quickly. If you can let us know, we will be most pleased to have you serve us. I will give you the night to think it over, and we'll call the episode there.
Thanks for listening to episode 45 of Beholder's Eye, Mother-in-Law, Monarchy, and Other Monsters. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We had a lot of fun with this. We definitely enjoyed the conversation-heavy, NPC-heavy episodes, so this one was a blast. If you enjoy what we do, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or whatever podcast app you use. It helps us out a whole hell of a lot. If you leave us a 5-star review, we'll read it on the air. Here's one from Jazzy McSnazzy. Awesome group! It's easy to see why I like this group so much. The players seem to be so comfortable with one another and legitimately try to stay in character. Being able to listen to a podcast where the players are obviously able to enjoy themselves without having to put up a huge front is awesome. The DM is able to keep the story rolling and players keep each other on track. Love the story thus far. And then he did like 3 little heart things. So thank you, Jazzy McSnazzy. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at BeholdersEyePod and our website, BeholdersEyecast.com. You can follow Ryan, who plays Hibonite, at DuffDuff3rd, Ben, who plays Magnar, at Miro4D2, Kim, who plays Alara, at Metsgirl, and Sam, who plays Margraine, at Samsalot007. Editing performed by Sam Canary. Music and effects editing by Benjamin Floyd. Thanks, and we'll see you next week. All music by INCOMPETECH, Vanishing, Myst on the Moor, Love Song, Ever Mindful, Angevin, Majestic Hills, Curse of the Scarab, and Our Journey Begins by Kevin MacLeod, INCOMPETECH.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. CreativeCommons.org/licenses/by/3.0/. All sound effects by Zapsplat.com. Please check the show notes for further details.